Hello friends, it's Sharon from Mad Paper Crush here. Today I am going to be making a little tag. It looks like just a little tag, but there's actually a hidden pocket in here. So when you open it up, so you can see this is what keeps it closed. When you open it up, it's your basic tri-fold tag, and right here is a little hidden pocket that you could put a gift card in, you could put another little piece of ephemera in, you could tuck it right into your journal, and when you fold it up, it's a little secret pocket on the inside of this tag. So join me as we make a trifold tag with a hidden pocket. Okay, to make this quick and easy, I'm going to be using a digital kit. This is my kit called The Gardener, and I'm going to be using these 3 tags, plus some of the background papers, and maybe even some of the other ephemera to make this go really fast. So I'm just going to get these cut out so that we can get started. Okay, now that I have these cut out, I can decide what backings I want to put on them. So I'm going to use these sheets, these 2 background sheets here for the backgrounds, and they're already double printed, but that's okay. I want to use this side and this side. So I think for this one, let's see, I'm going to take my one card. I want this to be backed with this. So I'm just going to, because I'm going to sew around these, so I'm just going to use my glue stick here just to hold them in place until I sew them. And I'm going to line it up with the bottom edge and the side edge for that one. And then for, let's see, this one, let's see, I think I want this side to be my background for this tag. So same thing, I'm just sort of tack gluing these down so that they'll stay in place until I get them to the sewing machine. And then this one, I think I will also back with this, and I'm just going to kind of do it right beside it here. And I'm going to put them close, but not completely close, so that hopefully I can get my cutter in there to cut them apart when I need to cut them apart. All right, so now I'm just going to once again cut these out. Okay, for my pocket on the inside, I think I'm going to use this piece of ephemera here. So I'm probably going to cut it down because it's bigger than my tags, but it'll at least give me a starting point to go from. The kit also has these cute little advertisements, so I think I'm going to cut them out too. So these I think would be perfect for little embellishments in and around, you know, where I don't have a lot of graphics or something. So we'll kind of figure out where these are going to go as we play around here. But I'm going to get them cut out so that they're ready to go. Okay, I need to get everything lined up and ready to go so that I can sew. So I pulled this one out so that I could use it for the pocket for, you know, whatever I would want to put in there, either more ephemera. If I was using it as a gift card holder, I could put a little gift card in here or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark this down to size so that I can cut it down, and I can decide kind of like, you know, if I want to keep all of those graphics over there, you know, I can cut it off at different spots here. Some of it's going to have to get cut off. I just have to decide, you know, what is the stuff I want to get cut off. And actually, maybe I'll do it this way. It will cut off most of this little graphic over here, but that's okay because there's enough here that it's still fun. Still fun to see. So I'm just going to cut that little bit off. Make sure I'm at my line here. And this should match up, which it does. And then I'm also going to put a little thumb hole in this. So this should be about 3 inches wide. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball a little notch there, which can go just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to prep my medical tape. So medical tape sounds very, I don't know, medically. But what I'm going to do, I'm just measuring the side of this up to this cut here that I made, because I don't want the tape to go all the way up there. So this looks like it's about 5.5 inches. A little bit more, but 5.5 inches is good to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of deli paper here, and I'm going to put some tape down here that is about 5.5 inches. And since I can see through this deli tape, I can kind of start, you know, I can kind of see where I'm putting it so that I can measure out my 5.5 inches, and then make my little cut. And this doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Obviously, I don't want them to go too much over that measurement, because then they'll stick out of the top of the tag, and I definitely don't want that. But I'm going to do 4 of these, and once I get these going, I'll show you what we're going to do with them. You can see my edges aren't very, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, be about right there. And then, let's see, do one more. I don't think I kind of have them all lined up, but that's okay. As long as they're close to the 5.5 inches, I'm good. Okay, so then what I want to do to prep these is I'm just going to use some distress ink to go over them. And I'm doing it on my deli paper so that I don't get everything a mess, but this is a very easy way to just kind of distress these. But they're also see-through, so when I put them on my tags, my graphics aren't going to get too covered up, which is also what I want here. And I'm doing 4 because so I can make sure I can cover up any sticky on either side. Okay, so those are my tapes ready to go, and I think I was going to do it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my tapes off my deli paper here, and you want to, if you're doing this, you know, make sure you use a side of the deli paper that is more waxy, or you could do this on plastic, you know, or something like that too. You don't have to do it on deli paper. It's just what I had. So here you can see it doesn't go all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take this, I believe this is the way I want it, and I want to put them just a little bit closer than 1/8 of an inch apart, like that. But you can see how I can see through those tapes, which I like. So let's go ahead and grab another one. We'll do the same thing, and we'll see if I can center this one a little bit better than I did that one, because I didn't do such a hot job of the centering there. I think this is 1-inch tape, so if I can kind of see to line it up, that was a little high. The other thing about this is that it's really forgiving, so you can pull it up if you need to. Okay. And now this one, I want to go same thing, just about a little less than 1/8 of an inch apart. We're just giving it some room to fold over and not, you know, kind of fold over on each other, you know, or crease each other or something like that. Okay, so here's the inside, and I'm going to burnish this down. I'm going to grab my bone folder, see if I can just burnish this down. I think this medical tape kind of just makes it look like, you know, vintage masking tape or Scotch tape or something like that, which I think is pretty cool. So now I'm flipping it over, and I'm just going to add the other 2 pieces to the outside. So same thing. Try to get it just about in half. And actually for this front piece, I may put it a little bit less on the front. But you can decide, you know, how you like this or how you would like to do it, of course. Okay, and then this one. And basically all we're really trying to do with these is make sure both sides of the tape are covered. Since we put that little gap in between, if we didn't have tape on both sides, it would, you know, feel sticky. Okay, so it's coming together. I think that looks great. So now let's get our tag ready. And I'm just going to use a little bit of distress on my tag, as well as around all of the base that I've got going there before I do any sewing. Okay, to make our little closure pocket, I'm going to take one of the scrap pieces of paper that I was using to cover the backs of my tags, and I'm going to make a 3-inch square. I'm going to cut a 3-inch square out of there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, pretty carefully if I can, I'm going to fold this corner to corner one way, hoping that I pretty much get close to perfect here if I cut it well. It looks like I did okay. And then fold it the other corner to the other corner as well, so that we have nice fold lines on the inside here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, let's see, I want that to fold down there. So, okay, I'm going to cut out one of the triangles, and it really doesn't matter which one you cut out, but you just want to cut from corner to center, following those fold lines that you made as best you can. And then what we're going to do, and I'll just kind of show you before I actually do anything with it, but we're going to kind of fold those 2 flaps in on each other. And then this is what's going to become our closure for the Trifold book. Now, before I do anything with that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sew around all 3 sides of one of the triangles, the one that's going to be my outside. So as I think about, okay, I'm folding this side down, this is my top triangle. So I'm going to take that to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew around a little zigzag all the way around the outside of it to give it a little bit of sturdiness before I glue it down and we put it on this pocket here. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then with my pocket that we created for the inside, I'm going to sew across this top edge here, because once I do that, I'm going to sew around all 3 pieces, and then that will sew this on as well. So I'm going to go do that real quick, and then we'll come back and you'll see what I've got going. Okay, sewing's done. So I'll just kind of show you what I did. I just decided to go around each tag, and I was trying to just do the middles once if I could, but I had already come down here and I realized I forgot to put the pocket on. So I went ahead and put my pocket on and then sewed again down just this portion and around the end and then back up and around. So there is a little bit of double stitching around here, but I don't think it looks bad at all. I cut off some of my ends, but I didn't cut off all of them. I left some of them there. And so now we have our pocket right here, which would be perfect for a little piece of ephemera, or even a gift card would go right down in there perfectly. And then this part is what I did with our square that I cut out. So you can see I just sewed around that one triangle that's going to be the top portion. And really I just did that to give, to add a little bit of stability to this thing when I put it on. I am going to cut off the inside strings, but I'm going to leave the outside ones. And then for glue, I'm going to use my glitter glue here. And actually, I may put it around this flap if it's not all stuck together, which is often the case for my glue. Yes, I think I have something in there. Let's see if I got it out. Nope. All right, to save us a little bit of time, I'm going to go from the glitter glue to my 3-in-1 glue, because I know I can get my glue out of here. And since this is paper and I know where I'm folding it, I'm not too concerned about which glue I'm using here. I just want it to be fully covered so that when I fold it over, I have a fairly even triangle that has a little pocket there. And now I didn't distress this one, so I'm going to go ahead and do that quickly. Okay, so our pocket is going to go, so if you know which way you're folding everything in, our pocket is going to go on the first flap on the right hand side. And I'm going to glue it completely down as much as I can on the back side, because I want this to be open for our flap to go into and to hold it down. Okay. And I'm hoping that the stitching on the bottom side will really give me a good, nice sturdy base there. So I'm going to leave that for a minute to dry, but while that's drying, I'm going to take a look at my advertisements that I had done here to see if where we might be able to put some of those. Okay, so I went ahead and just sewed around this one because I kind of wanted to put it on the back. And since there was other sewing, I thought it might be nice to kind of have that matching sort of look here. So this is the very back piece. So I'm just going to put that one down there. I'm going to go ahead and get to decorating this thing. And then I thought this sundials one might be fun for here. And just because of the way the papers seem to be going, I think I'm going to put this one at an angle that way. And you could you know, if you're following along using the same papers as I am, you could certainly leave that open for writing if you wanted to. But since we have all this for writing, I didn't think I needed something else. So I have these two more, and I kind of like this cultivate your garden the perfection way. I think that's cute. So maybe we'll put this, and now I am probably going to put an eyelet in here. So I want to be mindful of that when if I put this up towards the top. So I'm going to keep that down a little bit so that there's still plenty of room to write on here. But I like this little advertisement. All right. So we'll put him there. Just like that. And now I think my glue is probably dry here. I think. So let me just check it real quick before I force it. So I'm just kind of folding this over, making sure I have my fold in place there where I want it. And then I'm just going to gently slide that in. And that is a perfect little closure. But let's go ahead and put an eyelet on here so that we can finish this off. So I'm just going to do an eyelet right here on the front, and I'm going to measure, this is about a 3-inch tag, so 1.5 inches is about right here. I think I'm going to put it right above my little zinnia here, and I'm going to go ahead and pop an eyelet in, and then we'll finish it up with some seam tape, I think, for our tag topper. Okay, I like to use these washers or these eyelets that have a little backer on them, but you can use any kind of eyelet that you have. The size of this is about 3/8 of an inch, so my crocodile doesn't quite fit that. So I'm just going to use my little 3/8 of an inch hole punch here, but to put this on. But I will use the crocodile to crimp the back end. So that's kind of why I have this out here. Even though I don't use it to punch the hole, it definitely does a good job of crimping for me. If I can hold it together. All right. It's not a perfect backing there, but it does good for me. Okay, so there is our little eyelet on the front there. Okay, to prep this seam tape, I'm going to take some Rusty Hinge Distress ink here because it's about the closest to orange that I have. It's a little bit more red than orange, I guess, but it's going to have to do. And I'm just basically getting some ink all over it. Then I'm going to take my water here and just spray it a little bit, and then I'm gonna kind of curl it up in here because I want it to have some wrinkles too. So I've got it all curled up, and I'm gonna set this aside to dry so that it'll be ready when I am ready to use it. All right. Now this part is all done here, so I'm going to go and grab my seam tape that we had dyed, and you can see I actually love the way it turned out, even though, and it did turn out more orange than I thought it was going to, so that's perfect. So I'm just going to put this through here, hopefully. I can grab it. And we'll make a little tag topper. And I may cut a little bit of this off because these are really long here. So we'll just kind of cut them like that. And now I have a little hidden pocket right there in my, what looks like just a tag. You could even put another little piece of ephemera to just kind of make this look like a little pocket there or something like that. And we have our little hidden pocket inside. That's it, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video of making a trifold tag with a little hidden pocket out of a digital kit. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.